The International Criminal Court has just issued arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Galant, accusing them of war crimes in Gaza, and also for a top Hamas commander, also known as Mohammed Deif, who is believed to be dead.
For those of you who don't know what the ICC is, it stands for International Criminal Court of Justice. This is an organization that sits in the Netherlands, comprised of 124 countries, of which Israel is not even a part of. Its main focus is to prosecute people that are involved in genocide, war crimes, and crimes against humanity. How convenient that Israel is at the top of their list. How do you know that the claims are absolutely bogus? Who's the only other person that they tried in their court when it comes to Israel and Palestinian conflict since October 7th is somebody named Mohammed Deif, which they issued a warrants for. But guess what? Mohammed Deif is dead.
Deif believed to have been killed in July, so unclear why they've issued an arrest warrant now for him.
This is just another clear example of people trying to demonize Israel. I'm interrupting this video for 15 seconds to tell you about my business, which is called Wealthy Recruiting. We recruit everything from operations people to business development people. If you are looking for great people to work in your business, please go to berylsolomon.com and reach out to us. We would love to hear from you. You know, quite frankly, this reminds me of what they did to Trump. They took a man and they tried to defame him in front of the entire world. And they tried time and time again in order to try to remove his credibility on the world stage.
That is a sinister apparition that I'm seeing in front of me.
Well, he spent days rehearsing that pose. Yeah. That's the picture that he wanted.
Just because somebody is tried in a court of law and found guilty, especially when the actors that are doing it have their own motivations, does not make the person guilty. If we all believe that Donald Trump was guilty because all of his enemies and all of his haters wanted him to be viewed in a negative light, then we wouldn't be left with the 47th president of the United States today. And that's exactly what the countries of the world are trying to do to the Prime Minister of Israel. They're using the exact same evil, manipulative tactics on the state of Israel.
Will the same fate or limitations on travel face Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu? It appears absolutely so. If he would have set foot today in the Netherlands or in the UK or in France, all signatories of the Rome Statute, he would be, or those countries at least would be obligated to arrest him and turn him over to the ICC.
How absolutely ridiculous that they would have the nerve, how they would dare to arrest the Prime Minister of Israel for simply just defending his own nation, his own country. Has everybody lost their mind? Are we oblivious to the fact that Hamas started this war on October 7th and all Israel has done is try to retrieve their hostages? Is everybody absolutely nuts and oblivious to the fact that how could you not hit civilians when Hamas hides within their civilians? They do it on purpose. They wanted that casualty. They wanted those casualties of war. They orchestrated, they designed it, they mastermind the war in this way so that they could portray Benjamin Netanyahu and the state of Israel in this light. And they're trying to win at this game. But we see time and time again that whenever people try to play this game, it works in the short term, but in the long term, it always loses.
All right, and now we want to give you an update on this breaking news. The Israeli Prime Minister's office has just responded to the International Criminal Court's arrest warrants. Benjamin Netanyahu's office calls the warrants for him and Defense Minister Yoav Galant absurd. The statement says, Israel utterly rejects the absurd and false actions and accusations against it by the International Criminal Court, which is a politically biased and discriminatory body. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will not yield to pressure, will not back down, and will not retreat until all the goals of the war set by Israel at the start of the campaign are achieved, end quote.
I am proud of Netanyahu. I am proud of Israel for taking a strong stance. At the end of the day, all the international court, the ICC, is trying to do is intimidate and bully Israel for defending itself. I mean, what do they expect? What do they want? For Israel to lay down its arms and just be consumed by its enemies? What is the logic in that? What are they looking to achieve? They're trying to achieve a victory through politics. They see that they're not winning on the battlefield because Israel has the superior air force, the superior army, the superior intelligence, the superior morality, and most importantly, it has the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob on its side. But what they're trying to do is win this war on the political battlefield, which at the end of the day, I have to admit, is really useless because the ICC, nobody at the end of the day respects it because it comes out with these absolutely bogus claims. So every time they do this, they just lower their stature in the world standing because nobody takes them seriously anymore. So anybody at home who's worried about this ruling that came out, this persecution that just came out, it will hold the same bearing as all the persecutions that came after Donald Trump, and they all got thrown out because at the end of the day, truth prevails. The same way here. These are just false accusations to try to distract you from the real task at hand, which is destroying the enemies and making sure that justice and morality is brought back into this world.